Welcome back, everyone, to the Deep Dive, where we dive deep into fascinating topics. Today, we're going to be looking at 5G advanced networks.
Very cool.
And to help us navigate this complex landscape, we're going to be using research from, let me make sure I get this right, Jörg-Owe.
Schnepphat, yeah. He's a leading voice in this field.
Yeah, and this is something that I think a lot of people are curious about. Remember those futuristic movies with self-driving cars?
Oh, yeah.
Holographic calls?
Yeah.
All that stuff. 5G Advanced might just be the key to making all that happen.
It very well could be. 5G was definitely a step in the right direction. Big leap forward. But Schnepphat suggests 5G Advanced takes it even further.
Okay, so help us unpack that a little bit.
Yeah.
What exactly makes 5G Advanced so different, so much better?
Well, it basically comes down to enhancing the core elements of mobile networks, right? You've got your speed,
right,
capacity, and latency. We're talking download speeds up to potentially 100 times faster than 5G.
Wow.
The ability to handle a massive amount of devices all at once. And in latency, that response time, it's almost instantaneous.
So what does that actually look like, though? I can understand 100 times faster downloads, but what does that do for me?
Okay, imagine this. You're downloading, an entire movie. Takes seconds.
Okay.
Virtual reality gaming. No lag.
Wow.
None. You could even have remote surgeries. Surgeons controlling robotic arms, but in real time. No delay.
That's pretty remarkable. Now, Schnepphat mentions this term, network slicing. I'm not familiar with that.
Yeah, so network slicing, it's a way for telecom companies to kind of divide up their network infrastructure.
Yeah.
Create these dedicated virtual slices. It's think of it like slicing a pie.
Okay.
Right? Each slice is customized for a specific purpose. Like you can have a slice for gaming, optimized for speed, or a slice for healthcare. That prioritizes reliability, secure transmission of sensitive data.
So it's really about tailoring the network.
Exactly.
For specific applications.
Exactly.
Interesting. Now, Schnepphat also kind of gets into the nitty-gritty a little bit, some of the technical features of 5G Advanced. Can you break some of that down for us?
Oh, absolutely. So 5G Advanced, it utilizes some really cool technologies, things like massive MIMO, beamforming, edge computing. They all work together to boost the capacity. Reduce that latency and allow for real-time data processing.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest. Some of those terms are a little bit over my head. Can you give us a real-world example? Like how does that data processing work?
Sure. Think about self-driving cars, right? They rely on constant communication with each other, with their surroundings. They're processing massive amounts of data constantly to avoid accidents, and they have to do it instantaneously.
Right.
So that's where the low latency of 5G Advanced comes in.
Wow.
Makes it possible. And it paves the way for safer, more efficient transportation.
Okay. So it's not just faster internet.
Right.
This is about creating a much more responsive, interconnected world.
It really is. And Jörg-Owe Schnepphat, he explores all these different potential applications across various sectors. We're talking industrial automation, healthcare, smart cities, entertainment. Imagine factories where robots and humans are working together seamlessly.
Right.
Cities that manage traffic intelligently.
Yeah.
Entertainment experiences that blur the lines between real and virtual.
It's a lot to take in. It all sounds very, very promising. I am curious though. Does Schnepphat address any of the potential downsides? Any challenges or limitations to 5G Advanced?
Yeah, he does. And we'll get into those in our next segment. But before we move on, there's one more crucial aspect that Schnepphat highlights, and that's standardization.
Standardization.
Yeah.
Okay, what's that all about?
So imagine your phone doesn't work when you travel to a different country.
Right.
Because every region has its own incompatible network.
Right.
That's what standardization aims to prevent. So you have these organizations like 3GPP and ITU.
Okay.
They're defining the global standards, the protocols for 5G Advanced.
So they're like the rule makers.
Exactly. They ensure interoperability, meaning that devices and networks, they can all communicate seamlessly seamlessly, no matter where you are, who made your phone, who your service provider is.
Right.
This is essential for global adoption, for innovation.
It's like having a universal language for mobile technology.
Yeah, without it, we'd have a very fragmented 5G advanced landscape. It wouldn't be nearly as efficient or as impactful.
Okay, so we've established 5G Advanced is more than just faster internet. This is something that could potentially revolutionize everything, the way we work, the way we live. But as with anything new, there's always challenges to consider. So we were talking about challenges. What exactly did Jörg-Owe have to say about that?
Well, one of the big ones, and I think this is no surprise, is cost. Infrastructure.
Right.
Developing 5G advanced networks. It's gonna take a lot of money. Upgrading cell towers, laying down fiber optic cables,
Sure.
and developing new hardware and software. It's a massive undertaking.
Yeah. And that kind of raises the question then of who pays for all of this.
Exactly. Governments, telecom companies, private investors. I mean, they'll all need to be involved.
Right.
It's a shared responsibility.
Okay. So beyond just the financial aspect, what other challenges did Schnepphat point to?
Well, spectrum availability is a big one.
Okay.
5G Advanced, it needs access to a wider range of radio frequencies.
Right.
To really work, to reach its full potential. But spectrum, that's a finite resource.
Right.
Governments, they're going to have to figure out how to allocate it properly.
Oh, it's like the highway system, right? For wireless communication.
You need enough lanes on the highway for everything to move smoothly.
Exactly.
And Schnepphat, he also brings up the digital divide.
Right. I mean, you can't have a 5G powered future if half the world can't even access it.
Exactly. Bringing high-speed internet access to rural communities, developing countries, that's crucial. Everyone needs to be able to benefit from these advancements.
Okay. So we've got these infrastructure challenges, we've got the spectrum issues, the digital divide. It's a pretty long list. Does Schnepphat offer any solutions, any strategies for overcoming these hurdles?
He does. He suggests public-private partnerships. That's going to be key. Governments, they can incentivize investment, streamline regulations, maybe even provide some funding for research and development. Telecom companies, they can work together, share resources, speed up that deployment. And international organizations, they can help coordinate, make sure standards are implemented consistently across borders.
So it sounds like it's really going to take a global effort.
It really will. And Schnepphat also talks about investing in education, workforce development. I mean, you're going to need people who can design, build, and maintain these networks.
Right. So it's not just about the technology itself.
Right.
It's about having the workforce, the expertise.
Exactly. You need people who are equipped for this 5G advanced future.
Okay. So a lot of challenges, definitely.
Yeah.
But Schnepphat doesn't just focus on the negative. He also talks about the potential economic benefits.
Right. He does. And it's pretty compelling, actually.
Okay. So let's talk about the economics. How does Schnepphat see 5G Advanced impacting, the global economy?
Well, he predicts it's going to be a major driver of growth. Trillions of dollars added to global GDP.
Wow.
And he points to a few things. First, new industries.
Oh.
Entirely new industries, new business models will emerge because of 5G Advanced. Think about remote surgery, autonomous transportation, personalized entertainment.
So it's not just about improving existing industries.
Right.
It's creating brand new ones.
Exactly. Second, productivity.
Okay.
Across the board. Factories operating more efficiently because of real-time data analysis and automation. Healthcare providers delivering personalized care remotely.
Efficiency gains.
And those translate into economic benefits.
Got it. So it's not just a tech upgrade, it's like an economic engine almost.
Yeah. That's a great way to put it. And then third, new jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Millions of them.
Wow.
As these new industries emerge, they're going to need people to design, build, maintain them. Engineers, technicians, software developers, all sorts of professionals.
So challenges, yes, but the economic potential of 5G Advanced, I mean, it sounds pretty significant.
It does. It's a complex road ahead, but the rewards could be substantial.
Okay. So we've talked about the challenges, the economics,
Mm-hmm.
but what about the impact on everyday people? Does Schnepphat address that? Like how 5G Advanced might affect our daily lives?
He does. He talks about a future where 5G Advanced is is seamlessly integrated into every aspect of our lives. The way we work, play, learn, connect, downloading a movie in seconds, immersive virtual reality with no lag, even controlling your smart home with just your thoughts.
I mean, it sounds like something out of a movie.
It does, but it's becoming more and more real. Schnepphat, he talks about 5G Advanced improving healthcare, enhancing education, creating new forms of entertainment. Imagine, like, wearing a sensor that monitors your health.
Right.
And alerts your doctor if there's a problem, or attending a virtual classroom that feels like you're actually there.
Yeah, those are some pretty transformative possibilities.
Yeah, they are. And Schnepphat believes 5G Advanced can connect us in ways that we haven't even thought of yet, create a more collaborative, inclusive society.
So it's not just about the technology itself, it's about the connections it enables.
Exactly. And with those connections comes responsibility. We have to make sure this technology is used ethically for the benefit of everyone.
And that kind of brings us to another important aspect that Schnepphat talks about, privacy and security.
Absolutely. I mean, think about the amount of data that 5G Advanced is going to transmit. Protecting user privacy, ensuring network security, that's paramount.
Right. With all this data flying around, I can definitely see how privacy would be a major concern.
Yeah. Schnepphat emphasizes the need for robust cybersecurity, encryption technologies, and strict data privacy regulations.
So it's not just about building faster networks. It's about building trustworthy networks.
Exactly. People need to have confidence that their data is safe, that their privacy is respected.
Does Schnepphat make any specific recommendations for addressing these concerns?
He does. He advocates for a multifaceted approach, collaboration between governments, tech companies, privacy advocates. Governments need to implement strong data protection laws. Tech companies, they need to prioritize security from the very beginning. And individuals, we need to be empowered to control our own data.
Right. So it's got to be a collective effort.
It does. And that's a key takeaway from Schnepphat's work. Navigating the complexities of 5G Advanced, it's going to require a thoughtful approach, one that takes into account the technology, the economics, and the ethics.
Right. It's a reminder that progress isn't just about technological advancement. It's about making sure technology actually serves humanity.
Well said. And with that, I think we've covered the main points of Schnepphat's research, the challenges, the economic impact, the societal implications.
Yeah, it's been a really, really insightful discussion. I mean, this is a technology that could potentially change everything.
It could.
But before we wrap things up, I want to touch on one more thing that Schnepphat mentions, the future. What comes after 5G Advanced?
Yeah, he acknowledges that 5G Advanced is a big step, but it's not the end. He hints at a future where wireless communication becomes even faster, more ubiquitous, even more integrated into our lives.
So 5G Advanced is just a stepping stone.
In a way, yeah. He points to a few possibilities. 6G networks.
Okay.
Even faster speeds, lower latency, greater capacity. Imagine downloading a movie in milliseconds, or holographic communication that feels like you're actually in the same room.
Wow.
It's pretty amazing to think about.
Yeah.
Another thing he talks about is integrating AI, artificial intelligence, into wireless networks.
Okay.
Networks that can learn, adapt, optimize themselves.
So networks that can think.
In a way, yeah. And then there's quantum communications.
Quantum communications, that sounds like science fiction.
It does, but it's a field that's developing rapidly, and it could revolutionize wireless networks.
It's exciting to think about what the future holds. But I think we've covered enough ground for one deep dive.
I think so too.
We've explored the technical details of 5G Advanced. We've talked about the challenges, the opportunities. We've even gotten a glimpse into the future of wireless communication.
It's been a fascinating journey.
It really has. And I hope our listeners have come away with a better understanding of this technology and the impact it's going to have on our world.
I agree. 5G Advanced, it's more than just a faster network. It's a catalyst for change. It has the potential to reshape our lives in ways we can only begin to imagine.
And as we move forward, it's important that we do so responsibly. Make sure technology serves humanity, not the other way around.
Well said. The future is in our hands. It's up to us to shape it wisely.
So, to our listeners, we encourage you to keep exploring the world of 5G Advanced. Stay informed, ask questions, be a part of the conversations that are shaping the future of our connected world.
The possibilities are limitless, and the journey is just beginning.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into 5G Advanced networks. We hope you enjoyed it, and we look forward to diving into another fascinating topic with you soon. So we've spent a lot of time unpacking 5G advanced networks, really diving into Jörg-Owe research. We've talked about the speed, the capacity, the potential, the challenges. It's a lot. Before we wrap up, I want to kind of go back and touch on some of the key things that stood out to me.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, one of the biggest takeaways from Schneppat's work is that 5G Advanced isn't like just another upgrade.
Right.
It's a whole new ballgame. I mean, he really emphasizes that this could revolutionize industries, change the way we live.
Yeah, he's not just talking about, downloading things faster or having a better internet connection. He's talking about things that could fundamentally change the way society functions.
Absolutely. Things like remote surgery, self-driving cars, smart cities. I mean, these are things that were once science fiction, and Schneppat's saying that 5G Advanced could make these things a reality.
And it all comes back to those three core elements, right? The speed, the capacity, and the latency.
Exactly. I mean, we're talking speeds up to 100 times faster than 5G. The ability to handle a massive number of devices all connected at the same time, and that near instantaneous response time, that low latency. I mean, that's what makes all of these things possible.
It's incredible to think about, but of course there are challenges. Schneppat's very clear about that.
Oh yeah. I mean, he lays out those challenges very clearly. The cost of building these networks,
right,
the need for more spectrum, the importance of addressing the digital divide. I mean, these are all real hurdles that we're going to have to overcome.
Yeah. I mean, it's not going to be easy, but Schneppat seems to believe that the potential benefits outweigh the challenges.
I think he does, and I tend to agree with him. I mean, the economic and societal benefits of 5G Advanced, they're too big to ignore.
Yeah, he talks about how this technology can drive economic growth, create new industries, improve productivity across a wide range of sectors. I mean, it's pretty remarkable.
It is. And he doesn't just focus on the economic side of things. He also talks about how 5G Advanced will change the way we live, the way we work, the way we interact with each other.
Yeah. I mean, one of the things that I appreciate about Schneppat's work is that he really tries to look at the bigger picture. He doesn't just get lost in the technical details.
Right. He really tries to understand the human implications of this technology, and he paints a pretty compelling picture of a future where 5G Advanced is woven into the fabric of our lives.
Yeah. A future where we're more connected than ever before. But of course, with that increased connectivity comes increased risks. Schneppat talks a lot about privacy and security.
Yeah. That's a huge issue. And Schneppat's right to emphasize it. I mean, with all this data flying around, we have to be very careful about how it's being used, who has access to it.
Right. I mean, we need to make sure that 5G Advanced is used to benefit humanity, not to exploit it.
Absolutely. And Schneppat suggests that we need a multi-pronged approach to address these concerns. Strong data protection laws, secure technologies, and individuals who are empowered to control their own data.
So it sounds like it's going to take a real collective effort to get this right.
It will, but I think it's an effort that's worth making. The potential of 5G Advanced is just too great to ignore.
Well said. Well, we've covered a lot of ground today. We've talked about the technology, the challenges, the opportunities, and we've even gotten a glimpse into the future.
Yeah, it's been a fascinating conversation.
It really has, and I hope our listeners have found it informative. Before we go, I want to leave our listeners with one final thought. I mean, 5G Advanced, it's not just a technological upgrade. It's something much bigger than that.
It is. It's a chance to reshape our world, to create a future that's more connected, more efficient, more equitable.
But it's also a technology that comes with great responsibility. And it's up to all of us to make sure that it's used wisely.
That's right. The future is in our hands. Let's make sure we shape it thoughtfully and responsibly.
That's a great note to end on.
Yeah.
So to our listeners, thank you for joining us on this deep dive into 5G advanced networks. We hope you enjoyed it, and we encourage you to keep learning, keep exploring, and be a part of the conversations that are shaping our future.
Absolutely. The journey's just beginning.
Until next time, keep those minds curious and engaged.